Part 25H1, the model on the flat earth. All right, hey everyone. All right, so I'm going to uh, discuss the model in this video. And by the tab that you guys went into, you're going to understand that I am choosing to go and finish off the Sun series. And here is my logic and reasoning behind that. I went back and I watched a majority of the videos. I watched the Moon series again. I watched the Sun series again, and some other ones. Uh, but the Sun series uh, has stuff for both type of members. The members that want to survive, and the members that just want to learn more about the model. And I'm pretty close to finishing off that. I don't know how many more parts, but it's pretty close to being done. So I'm going to finish off that series, and that will appease everyone. And then when I'm done with that one, I'm going to go on to expansion. Again, the reason why I'm going to do the expansion next is one, because Kimberly is going to be starting up the Master and Controller series on her site, and knowing the model even better on the expansion side of it will help you understand what she's going to be discussing in the Masters and Controllers series. And it has a lot of stuff that will help you with survival when you understand the expansion, and it gets even deeper into the model. And then the last thing I'm going to finish off when I get done with those two series is I'm going to finish off the Moon series. And the Moon series is the one that is the least important right now. And I know a lot of people are going to be bummed about that, but it really is the least important. And after watching the Moon series and watching the Safe Zone series, the Safe Zone series I went into in depth on the model, and that should have explained. So it was kind of the continuation of the Moon series, because when you understand the model, you understand how our dome and plane works and how theirs works. So yeah, I'll finish off the Moon series to answer some major questions that I've already answered in the Epiphany section and everything else, just to tidy it up and put a bow on it so everybody's really happy. But that's why I'm going to focus in on this video on the model, because I don't think people quite understand what the importance of the model is. And after talking to Kimberly the other day, she was telling me that she didn't, when we first started this, she didn't even know what a model was. So hence, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to explain what a model is and why having the model, you all should be able to fit the puzzle pieces together, because the model is what allows you to do that. So when you have the correct model and you understand how all of the parts work, then you can plug in, so if you have a question about the stars, if you have a question about the moon or anything else, volcanoes or something else, you can plug it into that model and you should be able to get the same result if you understand the model. And that's why I spent a lot of time discussing it in the Safe Zone series, and I thought it was pretty explanatory, but I'll go into it again here just to make sure that everybody kind of gets the concept of it, because that's the key. The key is not to keep on asking questions about the model. The key is understanding the model, and then you can answer your own questions. Hence the reason why I've been pushing thinking so much. So that just doesn't go with the model, that goes with survival. If you understand the model, then you'll understand the challenges that you're going to face, and you don't need to memorize the order of how everything goes down during the MCO. If you understand the model, you'll know the order, and you'll know all the things and how they can only happen that way because of the model and the way things work. So that's what this is about. and I'm going to try to do my best to explain it so you guys completely understand the importance of the model, right? When you guys came into this site, it was to get the model. The model was never released on YouTube, and that is what you're trying to get all of your answers or your questions answered from that model. So you don't need me to explain how everything works. You can plug in the questions and you'll get the correct answer. The truth can't be told. It has to be realized. And I want to thank Isha from Nepal that put this in an email or a comment. I believe the comment may have been on uh, in Kimberly's site. And Kimberly had heard this quote before. It sounds very Buddhist. It's probably a Buddhist teaching. Um, I had never heard it before, but when Isha had put this in there, I was like, yes, that's correct. I can't tell you the truth. You have to realize the truth. I can show you the model, but you have to understand and realize how the model works. And when you get that, then you're on the path to understanding everything, because you will be able to answer the questions for yourself because you have realized the truth. So, what is a model? The definition is a three-dimensional representation of a person or thing or of a proposed structure, typically on a smaller scale than the original. So what is the 100% correct working model of everything? Well, it's this. It's a dome within a dome. LePonts work when you understand where the things are, how the things relate to each other, and why they're important and how they cause the things that we see in our natural world. It goes beyond LePonts work because one of the things that you have to understand in the model is electromagnetism, plasma physics, and optics. Optics is a key, especially to the moon and everything that we see in our nighttime sky, and including our daytime sky, because that's optics with a focal point. So when you understand that the plasma tube of light is spiraling, and you understand that the plasma tube of light comes out from the connection of the confinement dome to the flip ring, and if you've watched LePonts work, you'll understand that that plasma tube of light will come from the flip ring down towards the outside part, towards the top of that dome that it's coming down from. So that's everything in a nutshell. You'll understand where the light comes from, what's generating the light, where the photons are, where the domes are, and that is everything that you need to know to answer your questions as far as how does everything work that you see. Now, some people may interpret the model different than myself, and that is completely fine. Where I believe the moon is in the model as I see it, somebody may see it differently, and they may think it's a different thing. Case in point, I have a member down here in San Diego who sent me a very wonderful email about a month ago, and he said that he had an epiphany where he believed that the dome that we see in the sky that we call the moon is actually our dome. And if that works for him, that's great, because he may be correct. I believe it's different. All right. My interpretation of the model and how it works is different than his. However, it doesn't mean that I didn't see or think the same thing as him years ago when I was looking at this. I looked at it as it was our dome and it was an optical reflection that we were seeing inside of our dome. Now, I moved past that because I realized it didn't everything didn't fit and work properly with that. But it's the fact that he was sitting there and thinking about how it works. And it's a process to get to that realization of how it all works. Understand the model, and you can answer your own questions. That's all I got for this one. The next video in the 25 series will be put up on Friday. Tomorrow we have a member that has drove cross country from New York State that we are going to be meeting with, and we want to give him as much time as we possibly can. So I will do the next video on Friday. All right, thanks guys. Next video, part 25I, particulate problem on the flat earth.